This is John Kohler with OKRaw.com. We're here in Chicago today outside Cousins IV, and this is a raw food restaurant that we're going to go in today and share with you how it is. If you're traveling or whether you live near a raw food restaurant or not, the primary source of your raw foods diet should not be a raw foods restaurant. Yes, I said that right. You should not eat at raw food restaurants. The only reason why you should eat at raw food restaurants are complete fun or convenience once in a while. The best raw foods to eat are foods out of your garden or out of the farmer's market because those are absolutely the freshest. So it is really rare for me to eat out at a raw food restaurant. I may eat at a raw food restaurant maybe 10 times a year, if that. But mostly, I'm eating fresh foods out of my garden and at a farmer's market. In any case, here at Cousins, I like it for one very important reason. They have an all-you-can-eat buffet, all live food, all organic, $9.95 every single day. So that's an incredible value, and this must be the best value in raw food meals anywhere. I mean, I know down at Hippocrates they have like a $20 all-you-can-eat meal, but this is less than half that. So next, let's go inside Cousins and check it out and get some food. So Cousins is open every day until 9 o'clock, but the thing to remember is that their buffet closes at 8:30. So if you get here between 8:30 and 9, you can't have the raw food buffet. And in any case, you should probably get here a lot earlier if you're going to eat on the buffet, because you know what? There's over a dozen things on the buffet, and they're all salads, so they take lots of chewing to eat. Anyways, let's come inside Cousins and check it out. So we're here inside Cousins, and once you get inside, feel free to just find any empty seat and sit down, and there'll be a service person right with you. So now we're seated in Cousins, and they'll give you the menu here, and on the menu they have all different kinds of things available. The main deal, as you saw outside, was a $9.95 all-you-could-eat raw food buffet, and we'll show you that in a minute. But if you order 3 appetizers, and that's currently 3 appetizers for $14, then you'll get the buffet for $6. So that's actually a really good deal. So if you get 1 entree, you could add on the all-you-could-eat buffet for $6. So that's definitely, I think, a better deal than just getting the buffet alone for $10 or $9.95. So you could get the avocado sandwich for $10, add the buffet for $6, you're at $16 instead of $10. So for the $6 additional dollars, you get a nice entree. And then you want to eat the entree and then definitely fill up on the buffet on all the salads and all the greens that they have there. What my table is getting tonight is the deep dish pizza, a avocado sandwich, the hummus with flax crackers, the tripa taco, and the juicy sprout avalanche. And we're going to show you all those different items, and then we're going to go over and show you the buffet too, because we each got a buffet as well. Another reason why I like Cousins a lot is because they provide you with bottled water at each table. And this is not just bottled water, this is in a glass bottle. Plus this is alkalinized, ionized water. So feel free to load it up, fill up your glass, and drink your water. So I would recommend you drink your water 30 minutes before or 30 minutes after your meal and not dilute your meal with excess water. So here at Cousins, they also have a raw Emporium, and this is their little raw Emporium section, or their little store where they sell packaged raw food products, such as their packaged flax crackers, sunflower seed crackers, granola, and even their bacon made out of eggplants. Oh, can't forget the onion rings here. They also have many other raw food packaged products and enzymes and green blends. So I think it's great that they're offering all these different raw food packaged products, but the one thing I want to mention, and the one thing that you guys should all remember, is that the best raw foods are not any foods that are in packages, but foods that come fresh out of your garden, and fresh fruits and vegetables are the key to a raw foods diet. As much as I enjoy eating out at restaurants, I enjoy eating out of my front yard. Organic, super mineralized vegetable garden, much more. So now we're gonna eat at Cousins Raw Food all-you-can-eat buffet. I'm gonna grab a plate here, and my tip for eating at a raw foods buffet or things like this, like at a potluck, when there's so many different variety of things to try, you want to try a little bit of each one on your plate and have all the different kinds, eat them, and then come back for the ones that you like the most, because there might be one that sounds good, but when you eat it, you don't like it, doesn't agree with you. So it's always best to try a little bit of everything, come back for a lot of what you really like. So next I'm going to go over all the different items they have here on the buffet. So first they have the Tropical Extravaganza, which is a whole bunch of cut up fruit with some coconut on it. Next they have the spicy green bean Fiesta, looks like some beans with carrots and some other things. Next they have the broccoli cauliflower concoction. Basically, once again, a lot of shredded vegetables. Next is carrots under the sea, so it looks like they got some seaweed in here, shredded carrots, also some cilantro. Next is Bountiful Beets. Looks like a lot of shredded beets with some sprouted sunflower seeds. Next here they got French fried Daikon salad, so a lot of Daikon, radishes with some maybe spinach in there with some seasoning. Next they got some tantalizing tabbouleh, so once again some sprouted quinoa with some parsley, classic tabbouleh. Next they have the Bok Choy Blessing, and once again, you know, I like this buffet bar because it's mostly all kinds of just vegetables cut up with some, you know, dressings. So next they have the flavorful fennel freedom, which is right here, and that has a nice dressing on it. Next they have the Swiss chard celebration, bunch of sliced up Swiss chard. Looks like some kind of maybe capers or something on there. And last but not least, they have the Mediterranean kale creation. So once again, a lot of kale with some maybe goji berries in there. That's really interesting. But next I'm gonna go ahead and serve myself a little bit of each one of these so that I could try them and taste them, and I'm gonna come back later and then get the ones that I really like the most. Okay, there's a spicy green bean fiesta. Here's a little bit of the broccoli cauliflower concoction. Here's some of the carrots underneath the sea, and I'm doing these in a specific order so I know. Next is the Bountiful Beets. Next is the Daikon fry salad. Next is the tantalizing tabbouleh. So we got 6 items altogether. Next we got the Bok Choy Blessing, 7 items. Next we have the flavorful fennel freedom, 8. And the Swiss chard celebration, that makes 9. And the Mediterranean kale creation, that makes 11. So there are a total of 12 items on this buffet bar, and I'm not getting the fruit because I generally don't like to eat fruit when I'm eating my vegetable meal for the night. If I was, I would definitely get those first and eat them first. Oh, almost forgot, they also have a soup here, and this is a green power soup on here. So let's get a little bit of the soup and see what that tastes like. So that looks like it's gonna be really good with the green power soup on here. And this is actually not even a warm soup. It's a little bit cool. So I have the buffet, and here it is, all different 11 ingredients. Oh, plus the soup, so that makes 12. And once again, the soup, although it is called a soup, it hasn't been heated above 100 degrees. That's definitely good. And while we were getting the buffet, our appetizers came, so let me show you guys what that is. So here we have the tacos, 3 tacos, and I like this food a lot because it's mostly like a lot of vegetables just cut up and put on some romaine lettuce, and these are the tacos right here, 3 of them, some guacamole and some sauce. Here we have the flax crackers and the hummus dip, and over here we have a sprout salad. Sprout salad looks like it's on a romaine leaf, a lot of sprouts, some avocado, and some tahini style dressing on the top, or maybe a hummus dressing. And this is the deep dish pizza. And it's been a long time since I've had a real deep dish pizza. Actually, to me, this looks more like a lasagna, you know, with all the layers of stuff. But I guess maybe this is a deep dish pizza. It doesn't remind me of how deep dish pizza originally was. You also get a couple romaine leaves with some dressing, arranged nicely, and then also a small side salad. So good thing I ordered the all-you-can-eat buffet because this wouldn't be enough to fill me up. So next, what we got here is the Avocado Sandwich, and you can see this is basically some buckwheat bread with avocado, tomato, some sprouts, and some raw ketchup on there with the dressing. Also some bacon made out of eggplant, and also a small side salad to eat. So I'm halfway done with the deep dish pizza, and I've been eating this, and what this tastes like to me is more like a raw lasagna than a deep dish, but I haven't had deep dish pizza in like a long time, so maybe this is more like a deep dish, but I would consider this more like a raw food lasagna. And I mean, it's alright, it's definitely not that spicy, and some of the food can be spicy here. It's either like some food is not spicy and bland, or some food's like actually fairly spicy. So this is more bland, but it's alright, you know, I like it a little bit, but I think it should have more flavor. So we're going to go ahead and finish this off, and then I'm going to go ahead and hit up the all-you-can-eat buffet bar where I did like a few things on there, and we'll go show you that in a minute. So I'm back at the all-you-can-eat salad bar buffet, and the two favorite things that I like the most are this guy right here, the Bok Choy Blessing. Now this guy is definitely really good, and it was hot and spicy, so we're gonna get some more of this stuff. The other thing I liked a lot was actually this guy, the flavorful Fennel Freedom. This had a nice dressing on it too. So we're gonna get more of this stuff here. Oh, and the thing I liked actually the most, besides just the salads that were here, was the soup. So the green power soup right here, definitely really good. So the trick on the soup is that, you know, this soup comes in a little soup bowl or a little bowl, and the trick is to just get this green soup instead of buying a juice, because this green soup is pretty much like a juice, and it tastes like a juice, and it's actually really good. So get the soup and save your money on the juice. That being said, the soup may change every single day, so I don't know if they're gonna have this green soup tomorrow. Some of my third helpings of the all-you-can-eat salad bar here, and actually it's definitely really a good deal. And overall, my favorite thing by far is easily the green soup. And even besides just drinking the green soup, some of the things on the salad bar, once again, are very spicy, and some again are actually very mild and not spicy. So, you know, if you want to add some extra moisture and maybe a dressing to some of the things that aren't so spicy, you could take some of the soup and simply, you know, pour the soup over it, and you could actually use the soup as a dressing. So that's another great tip that you can use to get more water-rich foods in your diet. Another tip for the salad bar, and actually just in general, for every meal, especially if you come here to Cousins and you're getting the all-you-can-eat salad bar, it should take you a minimum of 2 hours to eat your dinner. And that's for one very important reason. Besides a good conversation you're gonna have here at Cousins, is because you're gonna wanna chew your food really, really, really well, masticated, because all this stuff is actually pre-chopped, which is good, but you really need to chew your food up really well so you get the optimal and best digestion. So I'd recommend at least 50 chews per mouthful. The other thing that's going to do for you is that it's going to allow you to get a much greater and better deal here at Cousins, because with all you could eat food, the more you could compact it, the more you could fit in your stomach. But don't overeat, because that's not a good thing. So we're finished eating here at Cousins, and all the food overall was fairly good. Some was really spicy, some was actually kind of bland. So if they could balance that out, I think they'd have it down pat. So overall, I'd have to give Cousins 3 out of 5 apples on the overall, and then on the quality or freshness of the food, they're gonna have to get only 2 apples. You know, most places still aren't up to quality with, you know, the quality and the high quality of serving the freshest and highest vibrancy food possible. And so hopefully these restaurants or other restaurants watch this video. Hopefully they'll work to bump that up. Ways they can easily bump that up are to grow their own sprouts or grow their own foods, or get foods delivered much more fresh. Because I could see as foods are delivered and they're sitting in a cooler, and regular foods are coming from California in many cases, or support local agriculture and, you know, get deliveries every single day. I mean, that's one of the things that's really missing in raw foods, and not a lot of raw foods instructors talk about it, is the vibrancy of the foods. But trust me, I really know this after growing my own food and feeling how the food affects me out of my own garden when I eat it fresh. I mean, it's absolutely out of this world. Way different than eating, you know, organic produce out of, you know, a restaurant, or even organic produce out of Whole Foods. So can't stress that enough, that you want to eat the freshest and highest quality food possible. So that's why they're getting a low rating on the freshness or quality of the produce here, because I think all raw food places need to improve. The ultimate raw food restaurant would be like a big warehouse where they pick everything fresh right after you order it. And that'd be the ultimate. And I haven't seen one of those yet. Maybe I'll have John's Organic Garden opening soon. So next, let's go over a couple of the different dishes that I ate here specifically. On the deep dish pizza, that tasted more like a lasagna to me. It was actually kind of bland, although it was good. I mean, I like it kind of bland because that means they weren't adding a lot of excess salty things and excess spices, but it didn't really have too much of flavor. And that, once again, can be improved by using high quality produce that has its own flavor. When foods are grown in rock dust minerals, everything, all the flavors are gonna pop out at you. And most chefs don't yet get this because they haven't played and haven't grown their own food. So I'd encourage chefs to grow their own food to get the absolute highest and absolute tastiest food. Next, we'll talk about the all-you-can-eat buffet. There's 12 things on the buffet, plus the soup. I really love the soup. The soup was absolutely my favorite. I didn't try the fruit, and I did like 2 of the things that you actually saw a little bit earlier. So once again, the thing on that is that you want to try a little bit of everything and go back and get the ones that you really liked a lot. On the tacos that came, they were actually really good. I like those in the romaine shell. Also the sprout salad seemed to be a little bit oily for me, but had a good dressing and some avocados cut up into it, which is all right. And the flax chips and the hummus, that was all right as well. Nothing to write home about either. So the last thing that I'd like to mention is that the rating of any raw food restaurant or any meal that you have shouldn't be made after the meal on how it only tastes, because that is only one criteria of a meal. The most important aspect of a meal is how you feel the next day. So at some raw food restaurants, I may get stomach pains, I may get upset stomach, I may get loose bowels. Yes, that's right, I said diarrhea. Or other effects. You know, my skin may get all puffy because there's too much salt in the food. I'm actually already feeling that in my mouth, that there was actually too much salt in this food and it's sucking the moisture out of my mouth. And that's definitely not a good thing, because we need to stay hydrated. So I'm gonna be sure to drink extra water tonight. But definitely, you know, how I'm gonna feel tomorrow should be the true rating, and how you feel after you eat a meal, it should be the true rating of how really good a meal was. Because it could taste great, as you know, fast food tastes great, but you know, it doesn't affect your body well. And some raw food restaurants may taste great, but the next day you may wake up and feel like a truck hit you. So that's something really to consider. So hopefully you enjoyed this episode learning more about Cousins IV here in Chicago. I gotta hop a plane tomorrow, get back to California, where I'll be able to eat out of my garden once again, and truly that is the best food ever. Once again, this is John Kohler with OKRaw.com. We'll see you next time, and keep eating your fresh fruits and vegetables. They're the best.